Hello and welcome back to The Weekend Gardener. It's been quite a while since I've posted a video, and the reason for that is that my wife's not been very well. She had to have an operation and she's currently receiving ongoing treatment, but hopefully by the end of December all that treatment should be done and things should start to get back to normal. But with everything that's going on, I think the allotment videos have been a low priority. So I've still been coming down to the plot. I've been coming down once a week on a Saturday, just spending the morning down here, getting as much done as I can. But it's nowhere near the standard that it was last year, but there's more important things in life than looking after an allotment, and I've been focusing on them for a while. But with that being said, I do want to try and get the polytunnel and the greenhouse sorted out, because all the things are starting to come to an end really, and just want to get nice and tidy, ready for a fresh start next year. So let's have a quick look around the polytunnel and the greenhouse, and then we'll get on with putting things right. I hope you can hear me over the noise of the road, but it's a little bit cramped for space in the polytunnel at the moment. I've got everything crammed in to take it outside. As you'll be able to, I've got plenty of tomatoes that are ripe, but I've still got a huge amount of tomatoes that are green, and I don't think they're going to ripen off, because the weather's just too cold at the moment. So what the plan is for the tomatoes, I'm going to take all the leaves off. Any red or orange fruit is going to be taken away, and then I'm just going to strip the plants back to the bare minimum. The peppers are starting to ripen up nicely, so any that are ready I'm going to take. So I'm just going to basically strip all the foliage off all the plants. Somehow some raspberries have managed to work their way in, so I'm going to dig those as best I can. But this is my pumpkin haul for the year. Well, apart from those two tomatoes, but this is what I've managed to get out. So you've got your traditional pumpkins, some patty pans, crookneck pumpkins, and butternut squash. So I reckon there's more than enough there to last a while, and they do store really well. Still got the onions hanging. I'm going to take those back home today. But as you can see, some of the peppers, it's just too damp for them. Any tiny little disease is getting in and taking over. So I'm going to tidy all that away, give it a good strip out. The melons, I've got one melon off that plant and absolutely nothing off there. So I think next year I'm not going to waste my time trying to grow melons. I'm just going to stick to tomatoes and bell peppers. I don't need any more chilies, because as you'll see when we go into the greenhouse, it's absolutely laden with them. There's more than enough there. So we're in the greenhouse here, and you can see it's a similar story. There's plenty of green tomatoes, not too many ready. So I'm going to strip all the foliage back. This is a chocolate habanero, which has finally jumped into life. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit too late in the season for it, so I might take that home, put it in the dining room and see if I can nurse it through winter. I did start getting a loofah, and it's grown completely out of the greenhouse. It's covering the roof, so I might chop down the bits that are going outside. Anything that's inside, just tidy it up. But I've got loads of peppers, chili, sorry. There's a bishop's crown in there, Scotch bonnet, Havana gold, all sorts really. So I'm going to harvest what I can with that and then cut it down. So yeah, that's the order of the day. Being as it's raining outside, I can't do a lot outside, so I'm just going to get the greenhouse and the polytunnel tidied up. So first thing to do is to get the wheelbarrow with the squashes and pumpkins out, take the peppers that are in the pots, so I can give you easy access to everything else. So I'm just going to get those pulled out of the way now, and then I'll get my trug and start cutting down all the dead foliage and the rotten fruit, and then get that thrown away. Then hopefully there'll be a little bit better air circulation for the plants that are left in there. I've also brought the dahlias in that were in pots, and I've just dropped them on the ground because the roots were coming through the bottom of the pots anyway. So hopefully they might overwinter in the polytunnel. If it gets too cold, I'll just take them home. Right, so let's get started. Well, it's certainly a lot brighter in here, so hopefully the fruit that's left should get a little bit of warmth and sunlight to help it ripen up. I've taken a lot of the I might take some more of these actually, some more of the green tomatoes. These aren't green, but they aren't ripe. They do turn a sort of a reddy colour when they're ripe. So I'm going to make some green tomato chutney, but that's all the foliage that I've taken out. I've missed this one here, I'll do this one in a second. Take all the leaves off. I might take the leaves off the grapevine as well and thread this one around the wire. And then pick up any tomatoes that have dropped onto the floor, stop them self-seeding for next year, and then we'll move on to the greenhouse. Right, let's see if we can sort the greenhouse out. I'm not going to be able to film in here because it's far too cramped, but I'll just give you a quick look around now and I'll show you what it's looking like when we're finished. I've given the greenhouse a good tidy out. I've taken out one of the tomato plants, cut one of the others down. There's just one fruit left on it, and then there's a few fruit left on these here, and these are the variety that were the best this year for cooking with. So hopefully I'm going to be able to save some seeds, and I might just grow this variety on its own next year. I think it's called Market Leader, but I'm not 100%, I'll have to check. Oh, sorry, that one was burlesque. So perhaps it's burlesque. I'll just check on my notes. I've popped the chocolate habanero back in and just had a little bit of a tidy round. There's still a lot of chilies on this, so I'm not going to bother cutting the plants down. I'll wait for them to die back naturally and just pick the red ones as they come. So hopefully I should be back down again tomorrow. I want to tidy up the brassica cage on the second plot and see if I can get that covered over, ready for winter. So with a bit of luck, I shall see you all again tomorrow. So I've managed to get an hour this afternoon, Sunday afternoon. I've just popped down, and all I really want to do is get the brassica cage sorted out. So I'll just show you where we are at the moment, and then we can get on with it. Some of these have gone to flower already. Some of them aren't quite ready, but I don't really need any more. I've got nowhere to put anything. I'll put these beans in just to act as a green manure, but they've produced fruit, so I'm going to take the fruit off what I can, cut the stalks off and just dig them into the ground. This is the state of a lot of the brassicas that I'm getting. I think it's just down to whitefly damage. If I give this plant a kick, you can see there's absolutely thousands of them. I think it's maybe because I've grown brassicas in this cage for 2 years running, so next year I'm not putting brassicas in here. They don't seem to affect the kale too much. He says, giving it a kick. Yeah, so they're just all over the place. Sprouts aren't looking terrible. There's plenty of sprouts on them. Let's just hope that they get a little bit bigger. But yeah, so that's the plan for today, is just get this area cleared, and if I've got time I'll cover it over. If not, that's a job for next week. And as you can see, all the grass is overgrown from my neighbour's plot, but she has been given a letter and being told to tidy it up, and she's working her way down, but unfortunately this will be the last bit she gets to, so until then I've just got to live with it. So yeah, I'm just going to see if I can get everything out of here today. There we go, I've cleared off this entire side of the Pongy Tunnel. I've left the mare's tail. I'm going to dig that out in a few minutes, and then I'm going to get the cover on. I've also done the majority of this side. I'm going to leave the Romanesco cauliflower in, and the Cavolo Nero, and the sprouts. On the sprouts I've taken a lot of the leaves off. I don't know whether I should take all the leaves off, so I've just left the leaves at the top, but as you can see, the whitefly are just moving in on the actual sprouts themselves, and you can see the ground is just covered in them. I've been raking over every so often just to hopefully kill a few. But yeah, I'm just going to dig out the weed membrane and see if I can get this covered over, and then that's me done for the day. So off to the other plot to get the weed membrane. Whilst I was sorting out the brassica cage, managed to get myself 7 small red cabbage, which tonight I'm going to be turning into coleslaw. Maybe 3 of them, and the rest of them I'm just going to chop up and put in the freezer. They're not huge, like I say, they're just quite small, but I'd never managed to grow red cabbage before. Last year's was a complete failure, and there was 4 or 5 brassicas there that had club root. So I've not put that into the compost pile. I'm just going to keep that separate, bag it up and take it to the council skip. So yeah, just going to get the weed membrane and get that area sorted. All done, long bed covered over. I've saved a few of the pongo beans. I've just hung them to dry. I'll leave them out there this week and then take them inside. But yeah, this bed's covered over now. And this bed's done. These are just the boxes that I keep the weed membrane in. I use these because last year I just had them in a big pile in a plastic bag and I found a rat inside one of them, so hopefully they shouldn't be able to get into these boxes. So that's all I've got time for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week possibly. I'm going to try and find a little bit more time to upload a few more videos, so I shall see you then. Thank you very much and goodbye.